In Stoic philosophy, attitude is everything. It's not your wealth, looks, or even intelligence that commands respect. It's how you carry yourself when life challenges you. Respect is not something you can demand. It's something you earn quietly through your behavior, discipline, and emotional composure. Yet many people lose respect not because of what they lack, but because of the attitudes they unconsciously project. The Stoics believed that the way you think determines the way you live and ultimately the way others see you. The first attitude that makes people lose respect for you is constant complaining. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." When you complain, you give power to circumstances instead of mastering them. You tell the world that you are a victim of life rather than its student. People stop respecting those who refuse to take responsibility for their own emotions. The Stoic path teaches acceptance, not passivity. It's about saying, "This is what's in front of me. Now how do I deal with it wisely?" Instead of focusing on what's wrong, Stoics focus on what can be controlled. That's where real strength and respect begins. Another attitude that destroys respect is arrogance. Many confuse confidence with superiority. But Stoicism reminds us that true confidence comes from humility. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. When you believe you are above others, you stop learning. You stop listening. And when you stop listening, you isolate yourself from truth." The humble man, in contrast, doesn't need to shout his worth. His actions speak quietly and consistently. People respect those who stay grounded no matter how high they rise. The arrogant person may attract attention, but never lasting admiration. The third attitude that costs people respect is emotional instability, the inability to control one's reactions. Stoicism is the art of mastering yourself in the face of chaos. When someone insults you, loses their temper, or provokes you, your reaction defines you far more than their words. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Freedom begins when you no longer let others dictate your emotions. Losing control shows weakness, not passion. The person who can stay calm under pressure commands silent respect from everyone around them. That calmness, that stillness in the storm, is what makes people trust and admire you. Then comes inconsistency, saying one thing and doing another. Stoics valued integrity above everything else. If your words don't align with your actions, people notice. Respect is lost the moment others sense you lack principle. In a world where everyone is pretending, the one who keeps his word stands apart. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to be the same in dark and in light, meaning to live with consistent virtue whether or not someone is watching. A Stoic's character doesn't change with convenience. It remains firm like a mountain. A fifth attitude that quietly destroys respect is self-pity. When you constantly see yourself as unlucky or mistreated, you drain your own dignity. The Stoics faced imprisonment, exile, betrayal, and even death. Yet they never played the victim. They believed that pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Self-pity repels others because it reveals a lack of inner strength. People respect those who rise again after being knocked down, not those who remain on the ground, waiting for sympathy. Every time you say, "Why me?" you give away the power to shape your own life. Another respect-killing attitude is negativity. The Stoic mindset is rooted in rational optimism, seeing reality as it is, not worse than it is. A person who constantly criticizes, gossips, or finds faults in others spreads emotional poison. Negativity is contagious, and people instinctively distance themselves from it. Respect grows in the presence of positivity and balance, not bitterness. A Stoic does not waste words on judgment. He saves his energy for self-improvement. The more you judge others, the less you grow yourself, and people see that. Finally, the most damaging attitude is a lack of discipline. Stoicism is built on discipline. It's the foundation of self-respect and therefore of others' respect. If you can't control your desires, habits, or time, you send a clear message. I don't respect myself. And if you don't respect yourself, no one else will. The Stoics practiced daily discipline not to impress others, but to stay free from inner chaos. Whether it was waking early, journaling, meditating, or facing discomfort, they knew that every act of discipline builds character, and character builds respect. In the end, Stoicism teaches that respect is a reflection of virtue. You can't force others to respect you, but you can live in a way that naturally commands it. Respect doesn't come from showing off. talking loudly or demanding recognition. It comes from inner peace, humility, and consistent strength. When your attitude reflects wisdom instead of weakness, and calm instead of chaos, people can't help but notice. A Stoic doesn't ask for respect, he earns it quietly, through the way he carries himself in every moment. Respect is not built overnight. It's cultivated through character, discipline, and calmness in chaos. The Stoics knew that the most powerful people were not those who controlled others, but those who mastered themselves. In this section, we'll explore the attitudes that make people respect you without you ever asking for it, the very qualities the Stoic philosophers practice daily to live with quiet strength and dignity. The first Stoic attitude that earns respect is emotional control. In a world where everyone reacts instantly, through anger, ego, or pride, the one who remains calm stands out. Seneca said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." People respect those who can stay composed when things go wrong. Emotional control doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you don't let them rule you. When others lose their temper, you stay grounded. When others panic, you think clearly. That calm presence earns instant trust and respect because it shows maturity and power over yourself, a rare quality in modern times. The second Stoic attitude that builds respect is humility. Marcus Aurelius, despite being the most powerful man in the world, wrote daily reminders to himself not to be consumed by pride. He saw humility as strength, not weakness. Humility allows you to learn from everyone, to listen before you speak, and to accept correction without resentment. The humble person doesn't boast. They simply live in a way that others admire. People can sense when you're authentic, when your confidence comes from substance, not show. Humility keeps you teachable, and being teachable keeps you growing. Respect naturally follows those who are both wise and humble. Third, respect is earned through discipline. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to become. Epictetus reminded his students that no man is free who is not master of himself. Discipline in your habits, your words, your time, these all reflect strength of character. When people see that you stick to your principles, work when others procrastinate, and stay consistent even when no one's watching, they respect you deeply. The Stoics trained their minds as warriors train their bodies. Discipline proves that your will is stronger than your circumstances. Another Stoic attitude that commands respect is acceptance, the ability to face life as it is, not as you wish it to be. The Stoics called this amor fati, meaning love of fate. They believed that everything that happens, good or bad, is an opportunity to grow stronger. Instead of resisting reality or blaming others, they practiced gratitude and adaptation. People respect those who face pain, loss, and change with grace. Acceptance is not giving up. It's recognizing what's beyond your control and channeling your focus toward what you can improve. It shows wisdom, patience. Next comes integrity. Stoicism teaches that your word is your bond. You say what you mean and you do what you say. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Integrity builds a reputation that no wealth or power can buy. In a world full of lies, half-truths, and pretenses, the honest person shines like light in the dark. People respect those who stand by their values even when it costs them something. When others can rely on your honesty and fairness, you become a person of unshakable respect. The sixth Stoic attitude that draws admiration is self-reliance. Stoics didn't depend on others for happiness or validation. They found strength within. They believed that freedom comes from independence of thought and emotional autonomy. When you stop needing approval, you stop being controlled. People respect those who can stand alone with confidence, who don't follow the crowd just to fit in. Self-reliance gives your presence a quiet authority. It says, "I know who I am and I don't need to prove it." Then there's gratitude, a surprisingly powerful attitude in Stoic philosophy. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It creates peace in your heart and positivity in your actions. Marcus Aurelius often began his reflections with gratitude for simply being alive and able to serve others. When you approach life with gratitude, people feel it. You become a source of calm energy instead of complaint. Gratitude earns respect because it reflects strength. It's the mark of someone who sees meaning even in struggle. Finally, Stoicism teaches consistency, to be the same person in victory and defeat. Respect grows from reliability. When people see that you don't change with the weather, that your values, your discipline, and your calmness remain steady. They trust you. Stoics didn't perform goodness. They lived it daily. Consistency is proof of character, and it makes your present strong, stable, and respected. In essence, the Stoic way to earn respect is simple yet profound. Control yourself, live with integrity, and remain humble. True respect is never loud. It's quiet, steady, and earned through actions repeated every day. When you embody these Stoic attitudes, you don't need to chase validation. Your calm strength, your self-discipline, and your unwavering peace speak louder than words ever could. Respect, then, is not something to seek. It's something you become through who you are. It's one thing to know which attitudes destroy respect and another to actually remove them from your life. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from practice, not theory. You can read 100 books about calmness, but if you still lose control when life tests you, then the knowledge hasn't yet transformed you. Stoicism is not about pretending to be strong. It's about training yourself to become strong, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. In this section, we'll explore how to eliminate the attitudes that weaken you and replace them with Stoic habits that command quiet respect. The first step is self-awareness. You cannot change what you don't see. Marcus Aurelius practiced evening reflection every night. He would review his actions, thoughts, and reactions from the day. He would ask himself, did I act with justice? Did I lose control of my mind? Did I let anger, fear, or pride rule me? This simple ritual kept him honest. If you want to eliminate toxic attitudes like arrogance, complaining, or emotional instability, start by observing them. Catch yourself when you're about to react impulsively. Awareness is the foundation of mastery. You can't fix what you deny, but once you see your flaws clearly, you can begin to control them. The second step is self-discipline through discomfort. Epictetus taught that the road to strength is through voluntary hardship. In modern life, this means doing difficult things on purpose. Waking up early, delaying gratification, saying no to laziness and temptation. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, your inner power grows. Disrespectful attitudes, like self-pity or inconsistency, fade away when you practice endurance. Stoics didn't wait for life to be easy. They trained themselves to stay composed when it wasn't. You build respect for yourself and from others when you prove that you can endure what most people run from. Third, replace emotional reactivity with rational reflection. The next time you're angry or offended, pause and ask, is this within my control? The Stoics divided life into two categories: what's in your control, your actions, choices, and mindset, and what's not, others' opinions, luck, outcomes. Once you learn to separate the two, your energy becomes focused and powerful. People lose respect when they react to everything emotionally, but they gain respect when they respond with reason. A Stoic doesn't allow small provocations to disturb inner peace. Instead, he practices the art of detachment, observing without being consumed. Another powerful Stoic practice for eliminating weak attitudes is journaling. Writing down your thoughts helps you catch unhealthy patterns before they grow. You might notice, for example, that you often complain about people or feel anxious about things you can't change. When you see this in writing, you can question it, challenge it, and replace it. Next, practice silence. In Stoic philosophy, silence is not emptiness and it's strength. When you stay silent instead of arguing, you show control. When you listen instead of interrupting, you gain insight. Silence teaches patience, humility, and focus, and all of which destroy arrogance and impulsiveness. Seneca advised, "It is better to be silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt." Modern society rewards loudness, but Stoicism rewards composure. The one who can stay still and calm when others panic earns natural respect. Another crucial step is surrounding yourself with disciplined people. The Stoics often said that character is contagious. If you spend your time with people who gossip, complain, or lack control, their energy will pull you down. But if you walk with the wise, those who act with restraint, purpose, and focus, their habits will shape yours. Respect grows in the company of integrity. Choose friends who remind you of your values, not your weaknesses. To further eliminate disrespectful attitudes, practice delayed response. Most of our regret comes from speaking or acting too quickly. When you feel anger or irritation rise, take a breath and wait before reacting. This short pause creates space for reason to enter. Marcus Aurelius used to say that time itself is a shield. If you wait, truth becomes clearer. That single breath can save your dignity, your relationships, and your self-respect. Finally, serve something greater than yourself. Selfishness and arrogance die when you focus on contribution, whether it's helping others, improving your community, or living as an example of discipline. Service purifies your attitude. Stoicism teaches that respect is not about being above others, but about being useful to others. When people see that your strength uplifts, not dominates, they respect you deeply. The process of eliminating weak attitudes is not quick. It's lifelong. Every day offers small chances to practice Stoicism. When you wake up early instead of sleeping in, when you hold your tongue instead of arguing, when you choose gratitude over complaint. Each small act builds a stronger foundation. Over time, these habits form the kind of character that doesn't just demand respect. It embodies it. Remember, respect is not won through force, looks, or charm. It's won through discipline, restraint, and integrity. The Stoic path is not glamorous. It's quiet, steady, and deeply powerful. When you master yourself, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your calmness becomes your strength, your silence your authority, and your attitude your legacy.